go find a hailing farrow for Dan. The compound, that would just be, keeping with his history with the livestock stuff. Be at the crop production. Major announcement made. Oh. Tradition. So, good afternoon and welcome to the September 2022 Hogs and Pigs briefing. My name is Dan Carestas. I serve as the Executive Director of the Agricultural Statistics Board here at NASS. This briefing is for the Secretary and other policymakers here at USDA to better understand the content of today's report. We are pleased to have Dr. Cindy Nickerson, USDA's Deputy Chief Economist, as our Secretary Designate today. Dr. Nickerson, I'd like to share that Angela Byers-Krantz of our Northeast Regional Field Office and Solara Raj Paksha of our Delta Regional Field Office provided valuable assistance in assembling this report. I have a few notes for our live streaming audience. The Hogs and Pigs report is a principal federal economic indicator report. The Office of Management and Budget provides specific guidance on how these important reports are to be released. OMB statistical policy instructs policymaking officials to refrain from making public comment within 1 hour of the release of these reports. Federal statistical agencies are guided to provide for a wide distribution of information in a variety of formats and be open about processes and procedures. We will not be taking questions during this briefing from the public. However, NASS staff are available for email or phone questions, and NASS will host a social media event 1 hour after the release of these data. We strive to have everything presented at this briefing match the official record. However, should there be any discrepancies between what is presented at this briefing and the published estimates, always refer to the official published estimates. With that, I will turn it over to Travis Averill, Chief of the NASS Livestock Branch.
Thank you, Dan. I appreciate everyone that has joined us today. First, I'd like to provide an overview for the September 2022 quarterly Hogs and Pigs survey data collection. On the map are the sample sizes of the 28 quarterly states in the survey. A total of 4,668 operations were surveyed this quarter. Data collection started on August 31st and finished on the 15th of September. Normal collection methods were used to gather data through mail, internet, telephone, and face-to-face interviews. The primary data items collected were total inventory by class and weight groups, along with sows, farrow, pig crop, and pigs per litter. This quarter's revisions for U.S. hogs and pigs, all inventory and pig crop estimates from September 2021 to June of 2022 were reviewed using final pig crop estimates, official slaughter, death loss, and updated import and export data. There were no revisions to September and December 2021 quarters. The table has the initial estimate, current revisions, net revisions, and current estimate. This quarter is the second opportunity for revisions for March of 2022, all hogs and pigs. March 1, 2022 net revision is an increase of 0.7%. And current estimate is at 72.7 million. For the December 2021 to February 2022 pig crop, net revision is an increase of 0.6%, and current estimate is at 31.9 million. This quarter was the first opportunity to revise June 2022 data. There were no revisions to the all hogs and pigs on June 1st, 2022. For the March to May 2022 pig crop, net revision is an increase of 0.1%, and current estimate is at 32.9 million head. For September 1st, all hogs and pigs is at 73.8 million head, down 1.4% from previous year. Breeding hogs is at 6,152,000 head, a decrease of 0.6% from 2021. Market hogs is at 67.6 million head, down 1.5% from prior year. The top 5 states are listed in the bottom left-hand corner. Iowa is at number 1 at 23.4 million head, down 3% from previous year. Minnesota is second at 8.8 million, unchanged from previous year. North Carolina is at 8.3. They're also unchanged from previous year. Illinois is at 5.2 million head, down 4% from previous year. Indiana is up 2% at 4.4 million. The bottom right-hand corner is a chart of the U.S. quarterly hogs and pigs inventory from 2013 to present. The September inventories are represented by the orange squares. In the previous quarter for June is the green diamond. Here's a map of the United States for September 1, 2022. All hogs and pigs inventory with comparisons to 2021. The top number is inventory as a unit of 1,000 head, and the bottom number is percent change from previous year inventory. Based on the 16 published quarterly states, 5 states are increasing from previous year with a blue background color. 8 states are decreasing from 2021, and those are in red. 3 states are unchanged, and you can see those on the map as in gray. Note there were no record lows or highs this quarter. Market hogs, as I stated on a previous slide, is at 67.6 million head. Let's look into the breakouts of the market hogs by weight groups. Less than 50 pounds is at 21.3 million head, down 1.6% from 2021. 50 to 119 pound weight group is at 19.9 million. They're also down 1.6% from previous year. 120 to 179 pounds is at 14.1 million, down 1.2% from last year. 180 pounds and over is at 12.3 million head, down 1.5% from 2021. Below the table is the quarterly distributions of weight groups since September 2019. South Farrow for June to August 2022 is at 3,018,000 head, down 32,000 head from previous year. Note, just in the previous quarter for June's report, the same quarter had second intentions at 3,019,000 head, whereas in the first intentions for the March, we had 3,031,000 head. For the second intentions for September to November 2022, South Farrow is at 2,973,000 head, down 2.5% from prior year's actual farrowings. In the June hogs and pigs report, the first intentions for the same quarter was at 3,007,000 head. For the first intentions for December 2022 to February 2023, South Farrow is at 2,902,000 head, down 17,000 from previous year's actual farrowings. At the bottom is the U.S. quarterly sows chart since 2013. Pig crop weaned for June to August 2022 is at 33.6 million head, a decrease of 1.1% from previous year. Pigs per litter weaned is at 11.13, unchanged from last year, however, up from previous quarter's rate of 11. The chart of the U.S. quarterly pigs per litter from 2013 to current as below the table, and since 2019, the rate has tapered around 11. Trade expectations compared to NASS estimates as a percent of previous year. The trade ranges are gray, the trade averages are the black circles, and NAS estimates are the red squares. Of the items on this chart, breeding hogs are within trade expectations, whereas trade expectations are higher for all hogs and pigs. Market pigs, pig crop for June to August, second intentions for sows farrowing September to November, and first intentions for sows farrowing December to February 2023. All hogs and pigs chart of ASB first estimates versus final estimates for the last 10 years. ASB first and final estimates are the blue and red line respectively. The trade ranges are illustrated with the light gray. Note from this chart here, 7 of the last 12 quarters, the ASB final estimate has been within trade expectations. Here's a table of the U.S. breeding herd inventory for the last 10 years and provides the disposition and utilization. The previous quarter breeding herd was at 6,168,000 head. During this current quarter, hog producers slaughtered 858,000 head, and at the same time added back 842,000 head to the breeding herd. The current quarter's breeding herd is at 6,152,000 head, down 38,000 from last year. Sow utilization is calculated from the current quarter sows farrowed of 3,018,000 head divided by the previous quarter breeding herd and equates to 48.9%. The Canadian imports by quarter for feeder pigs and slaughter hogs. Canadian feeder pigs and slaughter hogs imported for the third quarter of 2022 accounted for 1,543,000 head compared to 1,664,000 in 2021. This is a decrease of 7.3% from last year. The Canadian quarter import values are above the respective quarter. Feeder pigs as a percentage of the imports are light blue. Of the imports from Canada, 75% are feeder pigs, or 1,159,000 head, down 5.1% from prior year's total of 1,222,000 head. Slaughter hogs as a percentage of the imports are illustrated by the dark blue. Slaughter hogs accounted for 25% of the Canadian imports, or 384,000 head, down 13.3% from prior year's total of 443,000. The U.S. prices received by farmers for hogs and corn. The chart provides prices for the last 10 years. The hog prices are blue, the corn prices are red. The most current prices are for July. The August prices will be released tomorrow, September 30th. To the right of the chart are the hogs and corn prices for the last 6 months, along with the ratios. The 6-month ratios range from 10.45 to 11.45, which are all below the historic break-even ratio of 15. Selected upcoming NAS reports, September 30th, the small grain summary, grain stocks, and agricultural prices. October 3rd, the care reports for cotton systems, fats and oils, and grain crushings. 4th of October, dairy products. October 12th, crop production and cotton ginnings. Milk production on October 20th. October 21st, cattle on feed. Later today at 4 p.m. Eastern, I will be hosting Stat Chat to answer any questions concerning the release of the September quarterly hogs and pigs report. All reports are available at the NAS official website. I appreciate everyone attending today's live stream session for the September quarterly hogs and pigs ASB briefing. I hope everyone enjoys the rest of the day. This concludes the live streaming session.